you're in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane. It's over before you know it. Why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers.
This is going to be the second video in a series of videos that I'm going to put together about the greatest president in my lifetime and why I refer to him as the greatest president in not only my lifetime, he's going to be the greatest president in your lifetime too. Guaranteed. Thank you very much, sir. But I must have done 3 or 4 dozen videos at this stage, and I've scrapped them all. When I say everything is connected, I could go in 1,000 different directions. We'd still arrive at the same conclusion. But getting there, you know what I mean? The route to take us there may be a little confusing at times. Because in all of this research that I've done, at a certain stage, you begin to believe the impossible is possible. The only component missing is individuals with mind power, mind expansion, and the ability to see beyond all of the sea of propaganda that we've been surrounded by in our whole lives. And I know I'm getting all cryptic and everything else. I don't mean to be. But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. This world that we live in is far more miraculous than people even know. And our human bodies, far more miraculous than you even realize. So I'm hoping going forward you guys can expand your mind a little bit. Maybe look at this from a different perspective than just the mainstream training that we've all received. Let's do this, guys. So what did we learn in the first video that I did about the greatest president of my lifetime? We learned that Nikola Tesla changed the world.
Even though he died in 1943, we live in a Nikola Tesla world, using his inventions every day like alternate current power, radio, hydroelectric power plants, induction motors used in electric cars, wireless technology, the Tesla turbine, and vast improvements to X-ray technology and neon lighting. However, perhaps the most life-changing invention was never put to practice for the world at large: the magnifying transmitter, which is a wireless global transmitter of free energy around the world. By tapping between electric currents that run underground or through the ocean, known as telluric currents, and the ionosphere, a space called the Schumann resonance cavity exists. And Tesla proposed if repeater stations were placed around the world and a large enough electric potential was created, a standing wave of electrical potential could be harnessed around the globe at any given time. This was the basis for the Tesla coil we are familiar with and Wardenclyffe Tower he invented on Long Island. But free energy was not something that J.P. Morgan was fond of, Tesla's main financier, and he suppressed this invention. An example of Tesla's invention today at work is HAARP, where the ionosphere is used to manipulate weather patterns.
And we also learned Dr. John G. Trump, MIT professor, was placed in charge of Nikola Tesla's effects after he passed away.
In the spring of 1943, Dr. Carl T. Compton, who was then president of MIT, asked me to go to New York and examine the effects of Nikola Tesla.
Rumor has it, Dr. Trump was working on some things. And even though I don't believe in luck, I'm going to say it anyway. As luck would have it, he had a nephew he could pass the torch on to when the time was right. So what do we now know about the greatest president in my lifetime? The first thing is he's a stable genius, and he downplays his intelligence.
You know, my uncle was a professor, a great professor at MIT for a long time. I think he has the longest, Dr. John Trump, and he would talk about a lot of different things, and it was very interesting to me. For years I talked to him. He would talk about a lot of different things, and it was very interesting to me. For years I talked to him. Passed away. He's a great gentleman.
Another thing, if you come at him, you better not miss, because he will go Richter on your ass.
You know, I love getting even with people, but I will.
You love getting even.
Oh, absolutely. You don't believe in the eye for the eye? You do.
No.
I know you well enough. I think you do. But anyway.
And by the way, don't ever make the mistake of thinking that this man quits or gives up on anything. He's like the Trumpinator.
certain times when it seemed that there was just no hope, those are the times that turned out to be the best for me because I don't give up. Come on, let's go.
Probably the most important thing, he places respect, honor, loyalty, and duty exactly where it belongs.
You can do all you want, but you know, you still need help from the boss. We need help from the boss. Somebody said to me the other day, "You're the most famous person in the world by far." I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." They said, "Yes, you are." I said, "No." They said, "Who's more famous?" I said, "Jesus Christ."
And one of the lesser known facts that only very few have caught on to yet.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
Let's rewind for a sec and go back before the 2016 election. What did we know about the greatest president in my lifetime? We knew him on The Apprentice. We knew he was a real estate mogul and a billionaire. We knew he was a bold personality, quite a character. But what did we really know about him, other than his successes in business? For instance, what was his childhood like? Where did he go to elementary school? Where did he go to high school? Have you heard of the New York Military Academy? Perhaps. You may have even come across some information that states he attended the New York Military Academy. But one of the lesser known facts about the New York Military Academy, it was only one of 3 schools in the country that mandated classes in Russian. You heard and read that correctly. The greatest president in my lifetime is fluent in Russian. They buried his records to hide his abilities. And I don't know if you caught this. He was at the very tip of that triangular formation at the New York Military Academy. Does that mean he was number 1 in his class? Now, have we or have we not been told by the fake news media for years now that this is a very unintelligent man who can barely speak English? I guess their only play was to try and convince the American people that he's not as intelligent as he truly is. And just as a little side note, when he does speak English, he's speaking in more than just English, guys. And they know that too. And they are absolutely petrified that the American people at large will begin to understand exactly what it is he's communicating. Because you see, that's how they've communicated with each other for so many years, unbeknownst to the American people. But that was then, and this is now, and people are figuring things out on their own. I'd like to think they were too stupid and lazy to do their job, but the fact that he speaks fluent Russian is probably the reason they lost their ever-loving minds after that press conference in Helsinki between the greatest president in my lifetime and Vladimir Putin. It's also probably why the quote-unquote lawmakers in this country drug Mike Pompeo before Congress to answer some questions.
Oh, I'd like to ask you some questions to get to understand what actually happened. Has the president told you what he and President Putin discussed in their 2-hour closed-door meeting in Helsinki?
Stay tuned, guys. I got another video coming up right behind this one. You'll definitely want to see the little interaction between those two. And trust me, we got more information on Nikola Tesla and the greatest president in my lifetime. I haven't even shared what other languages he knows. And a whole bunch of new characters that fit into the fold. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be fun.
We're victorious, I'm telling you.